Nice muscles, Tyler, dude.
I actually give a whole talk about treating our work like an athletic event. And when you see it that way, doesn't mean you don't have fun. And I mean, having a shift drink and hanging with the people you just did battle with should never be taken away. But I mean, what's wrong with like calling that out a little bit? It almost feels like our industry is growing up a little bit. And I know it's easy to hold on to what was and to really glorify it. And I liked the School of Hard Knocks. I liked how hard life was. I felt like I was doing something not a lot of people could handle, but it doesn't mean it needs to be the norm. And I think that to have that stuff challenged, I don't think is that awful.
I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big, my hand is just a little big, but brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad. And there were two bad people. One was John Wayne and he's dead, brother, and the other was right here.
Shut the fuck up for 30 seconds, you might learn something.
Welcome to Plumluvfoods Live, #1 live digital audio industry show for chefs by chefs. Hosted by multi-time Food Network winner and award-winning chef, Chef Plum, and culinary veteran, star of the Food Saver commercial, Chef Jeff. So wrap, date, and rotate because the boys are about to set your Nissan flaws. Here are the Good Brothers.
Oh yeah! What's happening, everybody? It's Thursday night. You know what time it is. We bringing the heat. It's Plumluvfoods Live. I don't have my background music on because I don't need it because I'm so fired up as it is already. I can't wait to talk to you all tonight. It's been one hell of a day. It's been one hell of a night. I got some brand new cans of Guinness I'm super excited about, and I'm not by myself tonight, my friends. No. With the exception of the unfortunate demise of our good friend, Chef Jeffy, I would be left remiss to sit here by myself. I promise you I'm not. No. I am joined by the one, the only, the venerable Chef Dan. Dan, what's up, brother?
Yo, what up? Hey, you know what? Jeff's dead, but fuck it, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding with you. We're going to handle this shit. You know, we're going to just rock with it. RIP, my man. I love him. You know, he saved 4 out of 5 kids. He did big things, but you know what? I'm here representing for Jeff. You know what? I'm going to have to light some up. You know, we're going to have a good time.
We got you in the big seat tonight, man. That's what happens. So listen, it's nice to see the second mic on the program is now where it's supposed to have been this entire time with Chef Dan. None of us actually liked Jeff to begin with. We all know that. Like nobody, we weren't a big fan. People always send messages. Oh, Jeff's on here still talking. Jeff's on here, talking about weed again. No. We heard you on the show. We sent Jeff into a burning house to save some children. There were 5. He got 4. Unfortunately, he had met his demise as well. So, RIP Jeffy. We'll miss you. Nice job. Nice job.
Hero. He's a hero.
Nonetheless.
He's a hero.
Yes, we are. This is my second show of the day. I had a great show on NPR this afternoon. But not only is it the second show of the day, Dan, it's my second barbecue show of the day. But I got to tell you right now, I am more excited about this program than the one I did earlier. Look, I can't even sit still. Look how much I'm wobbling around and moving around. Yes, I am down here in the Amagansett basement, down here in the Hamptons. However, today, we're talking barbecue. We're talking barbecue with some masters, Dan. You know who's joining us here on this program? Oh, I'm so fired up, dude. I'm so fucking fired up. Excuse my language. Look at this.
Yo.
Boom. Are you kidding me? Legends in the game are joining us here in just a few minutes. 2 of my favorite human beings. We got to meet them at the Mohegan Sun Barbecue Fest this year. Great people.
Great people off the bat. I came late. I was a day late. They had no idea who I was. They were just like, hey, this guy's here. And I was like, yo, what up? They're like, next thing I know, I'm yelling and applauding for them. They were just blown away about how loud I was.
This is the problem. This is the problem. Attractive women, when you walk up to them, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot up front. That's all I'm saying. Like, just, I don't know, like you come out at on 15, maybe it should be on 9. That's all I'm saying. I love you. You know that, but I can see how that could be a little bit upsetting.
It is what it is, man. I am who I am. I come through 157%, doing it big, screaming and yelling. It's my thing.
I mean, 157% sounds like a shit number. Why not 200%?
Man, fuck 200%. That's ridiculous. 200% is fucking ridiculous. 157. I'm coming hard at 157, man. That's who I am.
Well, I'm excited to talk to our friends Maddie and Kikki here in just a few minutes. They are fantastic, super knowledgeable. A lot of grilling knowledge is going to be dropped tonight. We're talking food, we're talking beef, we're talking meats, we're talking chicken, we're talking everything you can think of. And trust me, these two grill masters know what's up. That's for sure. Shout out to Big Mama Q. She's saying what's happening to us right here. Let me put that up on the screen so we can see it. Here we go. Check it out. She's saying hello. Hey, Mama Q, how are you? Great to see you. Great to see you. I'll tell you, Dan, when it comes to barbecuing, I don't like to think of it as just a summertime thing. It's a year-round cooking form for me. How about for you? Is that something you want to do year-round?
It is something I want to do year-round. I wish I could do it more year-round, but I always had the barbecue on lock, and it's right on the back porch. I'll throw something in there, hook it up. I don't think it's a bad time. Actually, sometimes that smoke, and when the snow is on the ground, is beautiful. That fire when there's snow on the ground is something else. Like there's something to that. Like if people haven't seen that reflection off the white and how that feels and cooking on that and being in that kind of environment, it actually makes it feel more like almost like Neanderthalish. Like you're in a cave, you're out there in the cold, you're trying to survive, and you're just eating off what you can. And I think it's even more like for me, like fulfilling when you're in that situation.
Yeah, because that smoke in the air, the cold ground. I get it, man. I'm so right there with you. I completely understand. You know, on the show I did for NPR Radio today, we were talking about barbecue, and one of the fun things we kept talking about kind of was a theme amongst the whole show was how you don't have to be a barbecue expert to start doing it. And the community of barbecue people that are out there are incredibly accepting of everyone. And Maddie and Kikki are just that as well. They are such big supporters of people barbecuing at home. I can't wait to have them come on here and tell us a little bit about that as well and give some barbecuing tips, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a lot to drop on us during the show, during the little live event that you did with them. So I'm super excited once we can dive in and really get into this conversation.
One of the things I want to ask them about, though, is they watched me go from host to presenter, and it's definitely like a switch. You know what I'm saying? It's a switch in the mindset, how I went from, me talking to being the host, all of a sudden it was like an AC/DC concert. Shit just went wild, which was awesome. But that's what we do.
Yeah, you're a man of many levels. Many levels. You're hitting them from all angles. Next thing you know, everybody's dancing. It's a good time.
Well, listen, I agree with Barbecue Mama G. She's talking about some Neanderthals, and she agrees with you somehow. So, hey, listen, everybody always agrees with Dan. I couldn't agree more. Let's go ahead and get them in here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now, all the way from our friends in the north. We've got Maddie. We've got Kikki. Let me unmute their microphones, and let me give them a nice round of applause. We're so excited to see you guys. What's happening?
Yes.
These two, huh? How's this possible?
Hey guys, how are you?
First of all, I want to thank you for being up at 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast. I mean, shout out to you. It is possible. It is possible.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Right off the top, we're sounding like absolute squares, and we're proud of it.
Well, listen, I know you guys like to go to bed early. I totally respect that. Whatever, I got you, even though it's kind of fucking boring. We're at a festival. But, I mean, we're at a casino festival, one of the biggest casinos on the East Coast, having a blast. And we're finishing up our stuff for the day. We're like, hey, Maddie, hey, Kikki, you guys want to come hang out with us? And you guys are like, no. No, we don't want to. And I was like, no, really? Like, we're not weird people. Like, we just want to go hang out. You're like, nah, I don't want to. But what happened, Maddie? What happened the next day? You're like, hey, you guys want to go hang out? And we were like, no, we don't.
We got shut down the next day. It's right. It didn't feel good. I'm not gonna lie. It did not feel good.
Listen. Only one chance for all this. That's all I'm saying. One chance, right? That's it. That's the way it goes. If you don't, that's it. You have the opportunity. You don't take it. It's gone. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Okay. We'll live and learn then. Fine. Sorry.
Well, you guys, we're so excited to have you here on the program. And usually we have this view where I have the guest on and we do this and one guest is kind of in the center of the screen like this. And I might try to do that and switch it while you guys are talking. But since there's two guests, I don't know how that works. We'll have to figure that out. We'll stick with the regular view for now. But I'm excited to have you guys on. Excited to talk to you about barbecue. But I want to know the story a little bit behind you. You guys, you come from a different world. When it comes to this, barbecue has not been your main job your whole life, Kikki. How did this start?
No, it absolutely hasn't. We kind of have a weird story because, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but it seems like a lot of chefs have that ragtag sort of weird background. Somehow we all end up in the industry, but we didn't start in the industry. So Maddie and I actually, a long time ago, were employment counselors, believe it or not.
What is that?
Yeah, so we basically helped people find their dream jobs. People came to us and they were like, I need help finding a job, and that was our job. And in the meantime, Maddie and I hated our jobs, and we've always loved food, and we've always been interested in food and barbecue in particular. And finally, Maddie and I were like, we're just getting older. Every day that goes by, we need to figure out a way to like make that leap and get into a field that we like. And so we decided to pitch a barbecue television show to Rogers Television, and it got picked up.
Amazing.
And then before you know it, Maddie and I were just these two girls that had this like bedazzled barbecue that would travel across Ontario, making anything and everything on the grill. And that's kind of how things snowballed. And then we got trained as grill masters. We went to the States and we were trained with one of the biggest barbecue brands in the industry as grill masters. And then things just really started to happen for us.
Incredible. Maddie, who are some of the people that you guys look up to who are barbecue people, like Myron Mixon or people like that?
Well, one of them actually happens to be tuning in right now. Barbecue Mama G, that's our
Hey!
mom. And she's actually
Barbecue Mama, there you go.
Sorry, guys, I'm just working on.
Oh my God, Maddie, you can't. We already lost Jeff. We can't lose you too. We can't. I can't lose two people today. I'm sorry.
No. R.I.P. Jeffy, but not R.I.P. me. Not yet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
But yes, so Barbecue Mama G, she's our actual mom, and she actually taught us how to barbecue and how to grill. And so we grew up learning that girls rock the grill, and our dad, he's an awesome home cook. He rocks in the kitchen, but the guy can't throw down on the grill to save his life. So we learned from
No.
No.
That's funny. So was it something that you kind of grew up with your mom cooking on the barbecue, Kiki? Was it just something that you kind of got used to her doing as you guys were growing up, and it was kind of a mom was out in the grill, like that's kind of where it started?
Yeah, and it's so weird because since we grew up learning to barbecue with our mom being the influence in our house, we never really knew that was anything unique. And then when we started our show, we became known as like the women who grill, and it was like this weird thing, and we never really understood how that was weird because in our house that was like the norm. But then the more we got into this industry, the more we realized like it was such a male-dominated industry. And Maddie and I realized like this could really have a place for us because we started becoming known as the women who barbecue.
You know, I think that's a really interesting thing to point out there. And by the way, your mom's shouting you out there. You see that? She's throwing messages
Hi,
out
Mom.
there for you. Hi, Mom. I want to meet your mom. I kind of hate that connotation. I really, truly do when it comes to thinking about the industry and the hospitality industry in general, how it's like, oh, well, these are women who barbecue. I excuse my language, Mom. I fucking hate that. Like, can we let's just be like, we're just barbecuing. We're just cooking food. Like it doesn't, who cares what you are? I don't care. You know, what difference does it make? I mean, do you guys find that really makes a difference in the industry?
True. It's so true. It doesn't make any difference, but yet it also does, like, in a way, that's what kind of put us on the map. It was like something to be seen as like unique. And this was about maybe like a little over 5 years ago when we entered onto the barbecue scene, like in a full-time way. And in that short period of time, it has changed. Like there are more women in barbecue.
Tons. I mean, there's several. My friend Grill Mama, for instance, Melissa Riom, she is fantastic. A great grill. You know her?
Yes, she's fantastic. One of the first barbecue events we ever did, she was there. And she was we are always one of the only women at these like barbecue events. And she was there and she was fantastic.
Yeah, we did a big event together for the Navy and she came down and we've become friends. And she is one of my favorite people. She is really, really talented and good at what she does. And you know, even when she's stressed, you don't actually see her stress, which I love that. You know, that's what makes me happy as a chef. By the way, just to shout out Mama again. Mama just said that I have to keep it clean, young man. First of all, I'm very happy that Mama called me young man. That makes me so excited. Dan, by the way, I was driving home today, or driving back here today. I stopped to get some Guinness. I got carded, and I said, "Absolutely, young man. Please look at my ID, and let's just show you how this went." I gave him my ID. This is my ID. He looks at it. He goes, "Okay, you're good." And I was like, what? Hey, at least look at it, dude. What's wrong with you? He saw a 19 and a 7 after that. And he was like, oh, this dude, come on. He looked at me as if he was going to say, did they even give IDs back then? I'm telling you, I was very upset by this gentleman.
Okay, but why does that feel so good when you get carded? It like makes your
it does. It does. I got back to the house, told my wife, I was like, hey, I got carded. And she was like, no, you didn't. I was like, dude. All right, well. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know if you were a senior citizen, so he can give you the discount.
I tried to get the AARP card. I don't know if you guys that's an American thing you guys have in Canada. I don't know. It's like an old people thing. By the way, I'm killing with barbecue mama right now. She's killing with it. Awesome.
Mama approves.
Mama loves it. So listen,
right? Like forget everybody else. Mama and Plum just vibing.
That's it. Okay, so who's better at what? Is there one of you that's better at some parts, and like, are Kiki, are you better at some things and Maddie's better at, or will you guys ever admit that, or how does that work?
I don't know. I think that's a good question. I think that we're both good at everything when it comes to grilling, but I'll have to say, honey, I can admit it. Between the two of us, I'm definitely the messier one. Like when it comes to cooking, I don't know if that's gotta count for something.
Oh yeah. Oh, I always say Maddie can make eating an apple messy. I don't get it. And
I don't get it either.
It's no different. She's the same when it comes to the kitchen. So like, if I were to choose, like, I wouldn't say I'm like better at cleaning up, but I'm definitely the one who cleans up more.
I love how that's what you guys go to. That's what you go to. Who's better in the kitchen? Well, Maddie makes more of a mess, and I'm better at cleaning up. Like that's what you went to, that's so nice. And for those of you guys who don't know, Maddie and Kiki are sisters. Kiki is the much older sister, I've heard, and I'm kidding. I know who's what. Don't worry. Well, but one of the things that I love the most about you guys, I just found it almost intoxicating when we were at that festival and watching you guys kind of do a live demo, and then watching you kind of on Instagram, or because I'm old, I do Instagram, not TikTok, but watching you on there, like the way. It's just watching two people who really care about each other cook together, and that's awesome. I don't think that's done enough, and it's like I said, it's very intoxicating to watch. Like I can't stop watching it, even though like as I'm watching it, like I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, that's awesome. You know, it's fun to watch. Like, is that chemistry natural between the two of you because you're sisters, or is it something you had to work on together? Because when you work with somebody, a partner on camera specifically, for those who don't know, it's difficult. Because you have to know when to shut the hell up and let the other person talk, and that person has to know when to shut up and let you talk. Because especially, I know you guys, both of you can talk a lot. That's not an insult. So can I.
Yeah, you know what? Over the years, I'd say like, okay, so first of all, we are sisters, but we are. I always call Maddie like my soulmate. Like we're beyond sister. We're so far beyond sisters. It's not even sisters. Doesn't even qualify what our relationship is. But it has taken like years for us to get into that like rhythm that we're in now. Like we've been best friends forever, but now we're at a point where like since we spend so much time together, we naturally have like these little like unspoken vibes that Maddie can always tell when I'm done talking, and vice versa. Like she can always tell if I'm just like trailing off, or if I'm rambling, or if I have like not enough to say. She'll just pick up. And same with like then it goes the other way too. It's weird.
Yeah,
it is like, and even doing this like tonight, normally we do all of our things in person, like together, but I'm actually sick right now, so I didn't want to get Kiki sick, so we decided to do it separately. And even though we're not together, I can still pick up on like when she's gonna stop talking. Like it's so weird. We don't have to be physically with each other to do it.
Well, two things I want to talk about with that. One, I'm sorry you're sick. I wish you had told me. We could have done something different. Like, you don't look sick. You don't sound sick. That's good news.
Oh my god, I sound sick 100%. I feel like I'm like my throat is just like giving out here. But we would never cancel on you guys. We wanted to like do this so bad because we did let you guys down. We didn't come out at
Mohegan. Oh, stop. Listen, we're going to be friends forever now. You have no idea. It's going to be awesome. But this is what I want to point out as a person who hosts. Like I host lots of things from television to radio to live events because you guys have that, right? Because you guys have that when you're working with each other. When you work with a host, it works really well there too because you both are aware. So many chefs and people that you work with on camera, they don't understand. Like they feel like they have to keep talking, right? Keep talking to fill the air. When you work with a partner, you understand there's more than one person, so you're aware. And you guys are both very, very aware. And I want to tell you, as someone who has been doing this a long time, that's a skill that is not. You can't teach that. You just have to learn it. And you guys, I feel like you've learned it really quick in 5 years, Kikki.
Well, you know what I think it is, actually? I think it is because Key and I are technically not just on-air talent. Like, we edit all of our videos, and we do a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. So when you do that, you know when you go to edit something, and audio is like, I'm talking over Key, and Key's talking over me. It's, like, impossible to, like, work with that kind of audio. So I think, like, from knowing the behind-the-scenes as well as being on camera, I think that's been very valuable to us over the years.
And we've had situations like in doing videos and being on like morning show segments and different TV shows and stuff. Like if you don't have that timing and you try to say a really funny joke or something and someone's like talking over you and it doesn't feel good.
No, it's the worst. You don't want to repeat it. You're like, oh God. I did a segment nationally on a national news channel here recently. And I've done them a couple of times, but not the past time, but the time before I did them. They put me up on, like, I did my segment with a panel of 5 people up there with me. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
That's too much.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and then the people I'm up there with, like, they're not really talking. Like, I had to carry the whole segment, which I'm totally fine with doing that. But like, it's difficult. Like, the more people that are up there, and they all want to get their shit in there. You know, that's how I feel. They all want to get their shit in. They want to get their jokes in. They want to get everything in. A good host will stand aside and give you space and softball you to let you get your jokes in. That's how I feel. Because it's not about the host, it's about the guest. And yeah, those things are so tough when you do things like that, especially when people who are just, I don't know, not paying attention.
Well, Plummy, we found it very interesting that when we were at Mohegan doing Barbecue Fest, we obviously were meeting you, we were meeting Dan, we were meeting Chef Jeffy, and like
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Chef Jeffy.
Yeah.
But we just naturally like had like a very good rapport with you. Like, and I think
Absolutely.
that it's because you are a very good host. Like you did know when to carry it when we were like, which like it's very rare to get a word in edgewise with us, but you did know when to jump in there. And I found it very cool that we just did have a good rapport together.
You guys are great. You don't need you listen. You don't need to put me over here. This is about you. But like, you guys were awesome, and working with people like you makes it so much easier because like you get it. Like that's an innate ability you have when you work with a partner the entire time because you just totally get what that means. Dan, we haven't done any plugs for Maddie and Kikki. We gotta get some plugs in there for them.
Absolutely. Let's so we got Maddie and Kikki. Check her out, MaddieandKikki.com, Maddie and Kikki on IG, YouTube, wherever you can find them. You look up Maddie and Kikki, you just gonna get a whole damn plethora of videos of them just doing wild shit, making all kinds of fun things, telling you, teaching you, showing you, they hooking it up. All things. Dancing, having a good time. And that's what they do. They have a great time. Watching them up there, I would say first and foremost was them having a good time. And I think that goes into food. Like when you're up there being real, enjoying yourself, and I think it's that love that you guys have that you pass back and forth to each other is ingrained in the food, and it's that process, and it's all a beautiful thing.
Undoubtedly, you guys are very, very good at what you do. And like I said, it's almost intoxicating to watch. Like when you're doing I was sitting at the beach watching your live stream the other week when I can't stop. Like I just want to interact with you so much. Like I want to keep talking to you. But that's I think makes you so good at what you do, because people do want to interact with you. Because I'm sitting there going, Jesus Christ, I want to talk. You know, I want to be here with you. I want to talk about what you're doing. And I think that's what makes it so good at what you do. Doing those live streams, and you definitely, you have a lot of people watching. But I'm curious, for those of us who are doing the social media thing, what do you find is the most effective social media to do a live stream on? Like, what do you think is the best one to start with for someone who's just started doing this? And Maddie, you can start. I like to call people's names so no one talks over each other. Sorry, it's the NPR in me.
No, I actually find that very helpful.
Me too.
But yeah, I think for us, I don't know about you guys because you guys are live streamers as well, and we also we also use StreamYard as well, but StreamYard can be very limiting when you're doing things like Instagram and TikTok, because those vertical platforms, they just don't want to jump on the bandwagon of like being grouped into like things like StreamYard.
Yeah.
So for the landscape ones like YouTube, Facebook, even LinkedIn does it. Those ones I find are good because they have like more features. But Instagram, you're very, very limited. You're in this teeny tiny little screen, like you can't show a whole lot. Same with TikTok, but I feel like you have to know each platform and like what to do on each platform, which these days, like, I don't know about you guys, but Threads just got like brought up. Like now we have to do that thing. Like what?
I haven't even opened that yet or looked at it yet. Like, is it? I don't know. I feel like it's just like texting. Who cares?
There's like a new thing every day.
But what do you think works best for you guys? Like when you first started doing this, you were like, you know what works awesome for us is this. And listen, I'm a StreamYard fan because I want it simple. And we found StreamYard. Jeffy wanted us, rest in peace, wanted us to be. Our show has been for years just a podcast. It was a podcast, and we were live. That was what we did differently. We broadcast live. But Jeff was like, we have to have video because everybody's doing video now. And we found StreamYard. It was really, really simple to do. But you're right, it is kind of limiting on some of the things that it can do. But for you, what do you think has been the most successful medium, like an easiest one to work with to begin with? Maddie, you can finish that because you start.
Well, I think for both of us, we started our first ever live stream was on Instagram, and I think what we just really liked about it is that it's like the most authentic way of like connecting with an audience. So I don't really think it matters whatever platform you're on, but it's like it's unedited, it's live, like you can engage with people, and I think people really take to that because like you can really get a true sense for people when you're doing live streaming. And these days on social media where everything is like so fake, live streaming, it's not. So like
you can't, right?
People like about it.
Yeah, and I want to show you. So podcast wise, I haven't shown Dan this yet. You know, podcast wise, we do bigger with the podcast. We're still growing this video thing. It's still new for us. I don't know if you can see this, right? This just today. This came in. Apple Podcast. We're ranked number 67 in Ireland. How about that? Plumluvfoods. Shout out to Irish people. How about that? It must be because of the Guinness. It's got to be because of the Guinness.
Okay, that's actually super cool. Congrats, guys. That's fantastic.
International is what we do here.
Spain. We were number 6 in Spain at one
point. We were.
Yeah.
Great
and the
job, guys.
The podcast itself is usually a top 200 in iTunes at least a couple times a month here in America. But North America. It also counts Canada. But yeah, it's funny how that shit changes because that is what the world has become now, which is my point of talking about all of this. Like, TV is almost a thing of the past. Like, you know, my kids don't even understand this comes on at 8 o'clock. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, they just, let's just get play and watch it. They have no fucking clue what that even means, you know? And because we all have these in our pockets now, we can watch whatever we want, whenever we want. You guys have seemed to kind of gear your content towards this, which is so important. And I think it's kind of the way everything is going now. Kikki, have you found that it changes, you know, kind of what your original plan was from the beginning to what it is now because of the how it's being delivered?
Oh, definitely. I think like Maddie and I always say like our generation is like the Food Network generation where we all grew up thinking like if we were in food, like the dream was to like get to Food Network and be a Food Network star.
Yeah.
And I think like it took a very long time for Maddie and I to give that up. Like, I don't know if you guys have given that up yet, but like, I hate to break it to you, but that's probably not going to happen for any of us. So.
Well, listen, we don't get deep into it, but Food Network's in a lot of trouble right now and they're not doing well. And it's because 47% of the country here in the USA doesn't have cable anymore. And like,
exactly.
It's the same shit over and over and over again. It's the same thing. And honestly, I tell you, it's almost a waste of time. You know, our show airs on PBS and it's great. And, you know, but Food Network would never air our content because we're too real. Like they want to stage everything. Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, not to burst anybody's bubble. The restaurant closes. They tell them what to make. It's very, very it's just very different. But yeah, you're totally right. And I'm a massive fan of your mom. I'm going to invite her on the show here in a few minutes because she is. Let me tell you something right now. Your mom knows what's up.
Yeah, well, when Maddie and I first started, we actually like into the very early stages of our career when we first had our show on Rogers and we thought that like that was going to be our end game was to get on the Food Network. We actually went to the Food Network in Toronto and the Food Network Canada, and we were like, we did this crazy thing where we like got a barbecue, we cooked outside, and we were like demanding a meeting, and we were trying to be so creative where we were like, get us on the Food Network, and we had all these things. But even then, even at that time, they were like telling us that like they can't get YouTube stars on because of the money that they have to pay them, and they were trying to like explain to us that like TV was going to be a thing of the past. But
they're like, sure, we'd love to have you on. We'll give you $18 an episode.
Is that not nuts though? Like, we got to Food Network, had a meeting. They told us to go to YouTube. Like, is that not nuts?
It's hysterical. That's the way the world works now. I mean, listen, I get a shout out to Food Network Canada for recognizing that, but it's just not the same anymore. Like, if you watch Food Network now, it's all the competition shows that I've done, all of them, right? Excuse me, that I've won. And it's just, it's. All right, sorry, that was supposed to be fun. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Appreciate that. But that's all it is, because that content is easy to make. And for those of you who don't know, Food Network doesn't make any of their own content. And for all of you people out there who like want to tag Food Network and all your stuff, they don't care. They're not looking at it. Waste of time. Get out there and do something fun. Do something exciting with food, and that's how people will pay attention.
Yeah, but
exactly
in a cool way though, don't you guys think like this is actually a good thing? Like, who needs gatekeepers in like today's world? Like, if something's good, it's gonna find an audience. And like, I think that's the coolest thing. Like, to have Food Network tell us like that, like, because when we did have the initial meeting with us, they said things like we weren't ready. Like, I'm trying to think of like what else they said, but they said different things. And like, who are they?
Too young.
Yeah, we're too young. We're not going to be taken seriously because we're too young. But like, who are they to say that? We got our own audience, and like, we are literally running a very successful business right now. We're 5 years in, and I'm so proud to say that. And sometimes hearing like those no's is the fuel that you need to like hustle and get going.
I couldn't agree more. Getting your knees cut out gives you more and more and more like want to do it more, that chip on your shoulder kind of thing. And now you look at Food Network and you just do this. That's all it is. Like, who cares? Who cares? And you're absolutely right. 100% right. I mean, listen, we talk about it here too, just because we're all on the same page. We've had 3 Emmy nominations. None of our shit was on Food Network,
I think that's in today's world. I think that is so massive. Like, when you guys told us that, I was like, how the heck have we not heard of these guys yet? Like, they're Emmy Award winners, and like for food television.
Nominees. We didn't win.
Who cares? It's all about that. Nomination is like means like everything.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. And that's something. But all that also is just the same thing. It's just I can't emphasize people enough. If you do something great, start on social media, start doing it. And for what Maddie and Kikki have also said here, live streaming is key. Just get on there and do it, right? And if you make mistakes, it's okay. People make mistakes, it's fine. But I'm a big fan of owning that. And I think you guys do that too.
Oh,
yes. In the beginning, we were terrible. And Maddie and I will say that. Like, when you first get started, everyone's terrible. You have to be terrible. You're never going to be good unless you're terrible.
I wasn't terrible.
Well, I feel like everyone, if you're into this field, you have to have like the something that's going to get you started. But we always say your first videos are your worst videos. You just got to get those ones over with to start getting comfortable with it.
Right.
And then the next video gets a little bit better. The next video after that gets a little bit better. And then you just start to see that progress. And like, then a year in, you look back and you're like, oh my God, we actually came like a long way.
100%. I love how your mom's like a part of the show right now. This is fantastic. It's just like, we say something, she's like, I'm typing this in. I'm involved here. We are having Barbecue Mama is with us. That's what we're happening. What's the G stand for? Can you tell us what the G stands for? Or is that giving away things?
Her name is Gina.
Oh, Gina.
Gina.
That's a nice Canadian name.
My sister.
So I do have a little bit of a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I was looking at your wonderful Calgary trip, which, my God, we have to talk. I want to go to Calgary. I love Canada, first of all. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm a massive Canada fan. I still have toonies from my last time there. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I want to go. I want to go to the Calgary Stampede. Are you kidding me? Like, this sounds incredible. You guys were there. It looked like a blast. I say I have a bone to pick, but you know I'm joking with you. But all I want to say is that like I was watching one of your videos where you were kind of recapping things, and it looked like such a great time. But then I saw this, and I was like, huh, that looks kind of familiar. Huh. Who did something like that recently with Maddie Kikki at an event? Oh, I know. What was that white sauce? Just curious.
Are you guys claiming to be the inventors of Alabama white sauce?
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is? So it's Alabama white sauce on a piece of beef on a skewer. Is that what you did? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it does kind of look like that when I look at it closely. It does. It says beef on a skewer, Alabama. I didn't know it was Alabama white sauce, but I just maybe assumed. Maybe you saw that recently somewhere in your travels, and you're like, "Hey, we're going to make that."
You know what? It's so weird. It's so weird because I feel like that must have seeped into our subconscious. Because now that you bring that up, I'm like, oh my god, they did make that.
I know. It's so true. I'm like, that's basically their exact recipe.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
I'm like, how is that even possible?
Listen, here's how I like to think about it. I like to think we made an impact. It made me excited. That's all. I just want you to know, I saw that in your video, and this is what went through my head.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
I couldn't hear the sound on that.
It's an old training video from Denny's or something. As the guy goes, "You like hot fudge sundaes?" It's really ridiculous. See, that's why the headphones are key, because you can hear. We have a lot of video clips we can play too. But I don't know. All I'm saying is, like, I saw that recently at an event that we all happened to be at together, and I was like, oh. I'm sure yours is delicious.
Great observation, but guys, we literally did not even plan on making that. We found out that we were going to be making that at the event. Like, it literally was just like a spontaneous thing. But Key's right; it probably did somehow seep its way in.
Maddie, you know I'm kidding. I love that you would do that. Are you kidding me? I thought it was great. I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity here. I can't wait. Like, are you kidding me? Listen, anything you make, if I make it, you make it, I feel like I've done something amazing. So that's awesome. Yeah, I'll just busting balls, of course. And by the way, I want you to know, this comment here from your mother says that she's going to disown you. Just so you know that, right here. Clearly, I am absolutely destroying with your mom right now, which is awesome.
She's loving it. She's really loving it.
Let's talk a little bit about these festivals when you go, because festivals are a funny thing. Because when you go there, like, you know, it could be a small crowd, it can be a big crowd, it can be thousands, it could be 8 people, but you still have to be that same person, that same energy level. Do you find that hard to do?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think I personally don't really find that hard to do. When Maddie and I are on, I feel like if I'm on, I'm on. I feel like it's all the same to me.
I agree, because Key and I have said since day one, I don't know if you guys can relate to this or not, but we've said since day one, we prepare for all the events we do as if we're preparing to host the Grammys.
I love it. I love it.
We actually do. We take it that seriously. We have since day one. Yeah. And like, I think taking things seriously like that, if you bring a professional vibe when you do anything, whether it's like 3 people in the audience or like 3,000 people in the audience, it's going to serve you well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think everything has to be 110% every time, whether it's 6 people, whether it's 100 people, whether it's 1,000 people, it has to be that level. Straight right now, joining us,
157.
Back from the dead. Who would have thought that we would have a ghost on this program right now as we speak? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing back Jeffy is here. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffy is here.
The Undertaker, risen from the dead.
From the dead. We had rest in peace to you several times, Jeffy. We were happy. We had said we were going to speak at your funeral. Maddie and Kiki were throwing some Canadian fire things that they do, whatever that means. They were sacrificing Canadian chicken. Yeah. I am curious.
I appreciate all the love.
What's with the head?
Hey, ladies, lovely to see you both.
What's with the headband? What are you doing?
I just wanted to. I wanted to represent. We're having some Canadians on, so I just thought it would be important. To come in, just show everybody.
What is wrong with you? Why don't you wear a Canadian headband? We're representing our friends up the north.
No,
I just feel like strong Canadian presence. So I just want to, I don't want it to, it's like the quarter. It's like the Canadian quarter. It's always it like mixes into the money.
They don't have quarters in
And
Canada.
No, but it's like it looks just like our quarter, but it's Canadian.
What is he talking
always
about?
Gets in our money.
This is your friend.
You know what
man.
I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. There's a
I
Canadian
miss dead
mixes
Jeffy.
in, and then you go to use it, it never works. And then I'm like, because it's Canadian. How did this even get here? And
ladies and gentlemen, Chef Tarazzi is here. There we go.
I'm sorry. I just stand strong.
All right, I'm gonna apologize to my friends Maddie and Kiki here. Jeffy's here. Thankfully, he's going to join us. Jeffy had dinner service tonight, so we knew he'd be here a little late. It's the summer. He always comes late now. That's what he does. Maddie, let me ask you.
I was grilling, and that's why I was wearing this. Honestly,
all right.
I'm into it, Jeffy.
The rest of the story I just kind of came up with to try to be funny.
Jeffy, can we talk to the fucking guests?
I am.
Steamroller Jeffy.
Steamroller Jeffy. I think he's going to mute himself. He's upset now. Maddie, let me ask you. So, how long did it take you to finally decide, the both of you actually, Kiki, like to say, okay, we're doing this, we're making our money, we are doing this, we're making this happen. We don't need to work our jobs as job counselors or whatever the hell it was called.
I'm going to say it took, we had worked in our field that we went to school for about, I'm going to say like 10 years. And I think I can speak for both of us when I say, I'm going to say right after graduation, we knew we were not loving it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we Maddie and I decided fairly, to be honest, when we decided to take the leap to do this full time, we were making no money. We decided to leave our jobs. We had no safety net. We had no plans. We had no jobs lined up. At that time, we were still doing everything for free. We were doing our Rogers show for free. And we were we had the golden handcuffs of we both bought houses. We had full-time jobs. We were doing the adult thing, working our job. And we were we're getting older. If we don't do this now, we're never going to do it. And there were other people in our office. It was an office of broken adults. Everybody wanted to do other stuff. Everybody was what, I need to find my dream. I'm not living it. And then having midlife crises. And Maddie and I were that's not going to be us. So either we do this now and we fail, or we don't do it at all. And so we just decided to take the leap.
We were in a pre-midlife crisis ourselves. We were at a do or die type of time in our life. We were so unhappy, so miserable. We were literally the typical adults with we worked 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. So Sundays we were angry. We were I don't want to go into work tomorrow. It was just not a good scene. So we were pretty much it was now or never.
I just want to point out, you guys are pouring your hearts out and telling us your story. Meanwhile, your mom is having fans and she's talking to them. There's an outside conversation going on here in the chat, which is hysterical. Your mom's oh, hey. So funny.
It's amazing.
It's tough. It's tough because there's so many of those things you do have to do for free when you start, because that's what you want to do. It's more important to get your name out there. And I couldn't agree more. And it hits a point where you decide, okay, I need to get paid for this. But at what point did that happen for you guys? Was it a year? Was it 2 years? Was it 3 years into it? When did that click with you? Kiki, you start.
We were pretty lucky because Maddie and I always say it's very difficult to explain to other people that are trying to leave their day job and start something that they want to do, because it's just, there's all these cliches leap and the net will appear. And you hear all these things, but that is what happened to us. We left our job and we fairly immediately started getting paid work, because it's a mindset thing. It's if you free up all this negative energy that's bogging you down, you open yourself up for things that you couldn't have agreed to before. So before, when we were in our offices working our day jobs, we never could have done the daytime festivals and all the things that started making us money in the beginning and taking on long-term partnerships that we ended up getting.
Yeah.
We literally quit, and then the Sunday or the weekend that we quit, we were enrolled in our first barbecue festival, where we were selling I think we sold over 1,000 wings in 2 days, 2,000 sausages, and it was just we just hit the ground running.
That's awesome.
Jeez, that's crazy, man. Let's talk about a couple of the fundamental differences between the two of you, because you guys are very, very different. I mean, Key, I think you're vegan, right? Which is crazy. And Maddie, you have an alcohol problem.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. You don't have an alcohol problem. But I mean, it's just a little bit different. Like Kiki doesn't drink, you do drink. When listen, I'm not going to judge you. Are you kidding me? Like I'm 12 beers in right now. It's awesome. I was drinking when I was driving home. Okay, I'm kidding. I wasn't doing that. But there is a couple differences in the two of you. Maddie, what are some of the things you think stands out for you that's different than your sister?
Well, definitely our diets, because I don't know. I think we told you guys why Kiki had to go vegan a couple years ago. Did we tell you when we were together in Connecticut? I can't remember.
You might have, but the second someone says vegan, I stop listening.
Okay, well, that's funny that you say that because we were the same way before Kiki turned vegan. There's literally video proof of us, I think probably in, I'm going to say maybe like 2014, saying that both of us would never be vegan. And we had to eat our words because Kiki actually has a very serious medical condition that prevents her from anything to do with like animal products. So she has to follow a plant-based lifestyle. That's why she also doesn't drink because of this. And this happened like,
I mean, tequila's made from plants.
For our career.
Tequila's made from plants.
It is, but she can't have any alcohol.
I mean, is it really okay? Fair enough. Well, let's just hear. Let me pull Kiki in. Kiki, was that a hard change for you to do that? Was it a hard like lifestyle switch for you in total to do that? And now because of that, you just smoke a lot of weed?
Okay, so two-parter. That was a two-parter. So first of all,
it's legal where we live, and I know Canada has like no rules on anything. So
that's true. Yeah, no. So it was a huge change. So I think I told you guys this before. So I live on a farm. I bought a farm.
Yeah, beautiful by the way.
Being in Barbeque, it's like it was such a weird transition for me. I'm a hunter, so I was like probably the last person on earth that you would ever believe would go vegan. But then I got sick. I got really, really sick, and I was forced to make that choice. And that actually happened as soon as we quit our jobs. So life is ironic like that. So I thought like, okay, we're in this world of barbecue. We're like mixing and mingling with the big dogs. We're doing all this meats and whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, never mind, you can't eat anything. But it was like, I think it's so weird because it ended up being such a blessing for us because we were like those people that were like, oh, vegan's so stupid. It's just salad and it's like crap and whatever. But then Maddie and I had to expand our culinary skills and learn how to make vegan food incredible. And we always say, like, if you know how to make good food, you'll know how to make good vegan food. It doesn't matter, like, if it's vegan or otherwise. If you make good food, you make good food. And then so many of our followers were like, okay, like, this is awesome. I also struggle with my health. And it ended up opening us up to a whole world of followers that now could relate to us and a whole world of brands that could now relate to us that trusted us with their products. So it was like what ended up seeming like it was going to be such a negative ended up being a huge positive for our career.
Wow. That's really, really interesting. You know, I have a friend of mine who has a great barbecue place in Connecticut, Hindsight Barbecue. My friend Jeff Schmidt over there. He does an amazing, it's cauliflower burnt ends. And they smoke them. It is delicious. And, you know, I joke about saying the vegan thing and like, oh, vegan, nah, stop listening. But it is interesting. And I think when you have amazing access to great vegetables like you have, Key, like you can make some pretty awesome stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. And it's so true. It's like, but I get it. I feel like it's one of those things that I am always so grateful when people aren't judgmental because I know how I was judgmental. I was one of those people. I was like, whenever someone said vegan, I instantly was like, okay. But then once you get, life is like that. Then you're put in that position yourself and it makes you understand like not everybody is like you. People have different reasons for doing things. Like literally a barbecue hunter that lives on a farm. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, amazing. Dan, let's get those plugs out there for Maddie and Kiki one more time before we get them out of here. I want to talk to them for the next 2 hours, but I know they have to go to bed. Like they're about to turn to pumpkins, so we got to get them out of here. So let's get their plugs out there for them.
Speaking of pumpkins are delicious smoked, but MaddieandKiki.com, Maddie and Kiki on IG, Maddie and Kiki on YouTube. Like I said, search Maddie and Kiki. These girls are going to pop up. They're going to show you all kinds of fun things. The YouTube page is on fire. Go check them out.
Infectious to watch. Maddie, I watched a video recently of you guys, and you were we have a couple more questions before we get you out of here. And this is what you were smoking some cherries, and you made this cherry syrup, and I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. And when you smoke those cherries, like I think about when you add smoke to something, you kind of have to have some sort of fat in there for it to take on the smoke, right? How much smoke was in those cherries? And just talk about that a little bit, because it was incredible. And by the way, kudos to you for wearing white shorts while pouring cherry juice. I was fucking brave.
Was that not so messed up? Like, what was I thinking?
I don't think you were. You had an apron on. Like,
someone didn't think that through, but I made it. I didn't get messy at all. So I made it. But yeah.
For a minute, I thought we were gonna have a Carrie moment from like this the movie. Like we just had like blood red all over you. I was like, oh Jesus, what are we doing? This is a Halloween video.
I totally could have, and that would have really stained, because that cherry pigment really like came out from the I guess like the smoking process. But I think a lot of people think you need meat for smoke to like basically like adhere to it, but you don't at all. We always say use smoke like an ingredient. It basically, I think it can complement like any kind of flavor, like sweet things, obviously savory things, vegetables. For the cherries, it paired perfect. It was just so delicious.
Yeah. Well, I love that, and I want to try doing that too. Two more for me that I know the boys have a couple of questions for you. Key, I want to ask you, because we watch you guys on videos all the time, and we see that you guys use that Ninja wood grill thing. And Jeff and we talked today, and I was like, the fuck are they cooking on? What is that? And Jeff's like, I saw it at the store. I almost bought 4 of them. And
I almost bought a couple because I was like, these guys use them. I want to fuck with it.
Yeah, like what? By the way, their mom was listening, Jeffy, so we've been trying to ease up on the F words.
Stop fucking swearing, Jeff.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, that's your fucking mom. She's
Jesus fucking Christ.
Beautiful, wonderful Canadian mother doesn't want to hear you dropping F-bombs.
Shitty mouth. I'm so sorry.
But well, Key, talk about that grill, because like you just don't, and that's why I think it's so fun to talk to you guys about, even being from a home cook perspective. Like that's something that anybody can get. This isn't like some magic tool. Like you don't have some incredible super. I'm sure you have lots of expensive smokers, but like you don't use like, hey, we've got the biggest big green egg we could find that costs $4,000. Like this is something that people can find anywhere.
Exactly. So we spent a ton of time doing a lot of different videos on a lot of different grills, expensive grills. We have our own custom. We each have our own custom offset smokers that we got. Like we're constantly like, we spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to preach to people to like get an offset, get a barrel smoker, get all this stuff. And it wasn't working as well as when we hit on really simple things with people, because a lot of the time, like people want good barbecue food, but they don't want to be a pit master. They don't want to learn how to dial in the smoke. They don't want to learn the different types of wood. Like we lose people all the time in talking about wood types. I don't know why, but like Maddie and I can talk wood types till the cows come home, and people are like, they just glaze over, and we're like, you know what? Never mind. So then
I love that.
Like Ninja is dominating the world with all the Ninja products. So they came out with the wood fire. It's a grill that you add pellets to, and it doesn't run on pellets, unlike a Traeger grill, which uses pellets as the fuel to run the grill. The pellets are just like an accent, so it provides you use like this much pellets to when you're making any sort of cook, and it does add a surprising amount of smoke flavor to whatever you're cooking. So Maddie and I actually had the pleasure of helping to develop that grill.
Are you serious?
We did, yes. So it does hold
sick.
It holds a special
That's
place
awesome.
in our heart. Yeah. So we had input on the grill and how it was created, and using our experts.
Now I'm buying one.
To make it into something that was like a legitimate barbecue that we could feel proud of. And now we are absolutely obsessed with it. Like you cannot argue with making ribs in half the time.
No, that's incredible. And off the subject, I want to point out, still absolutely 100% killing with your mom right now. I just want you to know that. Just killing with her. She is just.
I didn't put an F in there. I saw her put an F in that.
There's an F in there. An F and an A. She put an F and an A.
I'm moving in with your mom. She's my favorite person. I'm gonna go hang out with her. I can't wait. That's great. Oh, listen, Plummy, that's so funny. You guys are the best. I think that grill is fantastic. I love when you can take something like that and use it from a home cook perspective. Because listen, that's the people who are watching you. That's your audience. I think 85% of doing any kind of internet content is understanding who your audience is, and you guys have hammered that out perfectly, which is how you carve this amazing niche for yourself. And like I said, I love watching you. I can't wait to watch you tomorrow at noon, right?
Well, tomorrow that is, Plummy, I love that you know that, because every Friday, you're right, we do go live at noon Eastern every single Friday, but because I'm sick right now, I don't want to get Key sick, and our dad and mom also help produce the show, and I don't want to get them sick either.
Oh, it's awesome.
So we're not doing it tomorrow, and it like we literally have done it like through like sicknesses and stuff before, but it's just not worth it. I don't want to get them sick, so we're just not doing it tomorrow, but we'll be back next Friday.
All right. Well, I love that. That's great. Key, you should go by yourself. You don't need Maddie. You got this.
All right. It'll just be the Kiki show then. Whatever, Mad. Move out of the way, everybody.
I love that. You could just like you could shell some more fava beans for us.
Yeah.
I love that.
You guys are amazing. Thanks for hanging out with us. I know the boys have a couple questions for you. Dan, you've been so patiently waiting, I know, because I run my mouth constantly, but yeah, I think you're used to that by this point. And by the way, just so you guys know, Dan used to be the shyest individual on the planet. Now he is fantastic. He's the best. So
I can't believe that at all.
I told him, Jeff, I don't know if you heard at the beginning, like when Dan first met Maddie and Kiki, like he comes out like on 15. And I was like, bro, when you meet attractive women, you can't just jump out there and be like, yo, what's up? No. Just tone it down a little bit for a minute. Like it was a little bit scary. It was a little bit scary.
I loved it because it's very rare that Key and I actually get to meet somebody who can meet our 15 and exceed it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Well, you know. Hey, just a quick question. Did you guys think there was a difference in the hosting Plum versus the demos that we did? Did it change at all for you?
Yes. So, Plummy, I don't know if I told you this when we were in Connecticut, but I thought you were like, so as the days unfolded, it was 2 days. We saw you hosting. We saw you like doing a fabulous job as a host. And I was like, hey, this guy, no wonder the Emmys, it makes sense. He's awesome. But then when you guys got up there, you and Chef Jeffy, and you guys were doing your own show, I was like, what? These guys are incredible. Like, I literally was like, Keith, seriously, these guys are so good. Like, we were thoroughly impressed.
Listen, I don't know if we actually finished any dishes, but we got to go up there and have a lot of fun. Jeffy, you weren't here, but I did actually. We had to talk to Maddie and Kiki a little bit about this because they were just in Calgary and doing the Calgary Stampede, which we talked about, and one of the dishes I saw that they made looks vaguely familiar, Jeffy. I showed them earlier, just so you know if you saw this, Jeffy.
Oh, it's the plum Jeffy sauce.
Hey, what's that right there?
It's also known as Alabama White. In some places they call it Alabama White, but around our way it's plum Jeffy sauce. It's what people call it. It's weird.
Yeah. I was busting their balls about it a little bit, but anyway, sorry, Dan. It's your turn. I know you have questions for them. Get it out there. We gotta get these guys in bed. In Canada, it's like fucking 2:30 in the morning.
I love how you started this with I run my mouth and I'm gonna give you a chance to talk, and then you just went on and on and on.
Oh, that was Dan's question. That was Dan's question. Now it's Jeff's turn. Oh. Go ahead. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan the Spice Man.
Yes, thank you. I have two questions. First of all, I would like to know, what are both your real names? You guys go by Maddie and Kiki. Like, what are your real names?
Well, my name is Maddalena. So, and it's a good Italian name.
I love that name.
I never go by that though. I've always gone by Maddie.
And my name is Kia.
I love it.
No one ever, but it's so weird because no one ever calls me Kia. Literally,
like the car?
Yeah, just like the car. Although I came before the car, so not like the car. But everyone
knows the car after you.
Where's Barbecue Mama G? You named her after a shitty car?
No, they named the car after her.
Yeah.
That's even worse. They named a shitty car after Kiki? That's terrible. Oh my God. Okay, well,
beautiful.
Sorry.
But good question, Dan. We get asked that quite a bit, actually.
Really? So then I have question number 2 is for Kiki. I'm curious to know
She's not going to tell you her social security number. Don't ask her.
When you're thinking about vegan aspects of it, what is your favorite thing to barbecue or smoke or grill or however it is vegetable wise?
Great question.
That is a really great question. I would have to go with Plummy just brought it up. My fava beans. That's probably my favorite thing to make on the grill, and I look forward to that every single year. Is growing fava beans, even though they're such a it's a big, huge process, and a lot of people are getting a lot of hate on that post for people being like, who would ever do that? But if you've ever had fava beans that way, they're just phenomenal on the grill, and they're up there. Although it's really, really hard to choose because there are so many different phenomenal vegetable dishes that can be made on the grill.
Totally. How do you do the fava beans? I'm curious. How do you do the fava beans? How do you prepare them?
Well, I do the blanch, get all the skins off. I take them out of the pods, do the blanch, get the skins off, and then I like to smoke them with garlic and lemon zest, some basil, some chilies, and then I like to serve them on a crostini with plant-based ricotta that I also make myself, obviously.
Okay.
And that's my favorite way to have them.
I was going thumbs down, but I saw that. I just want to chime in really quick too. Baby Mama G is throwing some hippie shit out there for everybody, just so we see that. If you guys can just see what she's talking about. She's talking about some. I don't know what she's talking about.
No,
there we go.
She's
just throwing some crazy hippie shit out there. By the way, Jeffy, this is Maddie Kikki's mom, and she's been part of the show the whole night, so this is great.
Thank you, Mama G. It's lovely to meet you virtually.
I love the home you make the ricotta, which is fantastic. That's really good. You can smoke that too, which comes out great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, like these are all things that like before this decision was made for me, it was like I used to make literally like pate from animals that I shot from my farm. Like
Christ.
It literally like the least person you would ever believe would go vegan, and it happened to me, guys.
We love that.
Out. It could happen to you.
And now you just shoot animals for fun and leave them dying out there after you kill them. Shoot them, right?
Nice.
Well, it's nice because my whole family still eats meat, so I still hunt, and it still brings me pleasure to make food for everybody else.
My
We
God,
also enjoy it.
I want to talk about hunting with you. This is
Yeah,
incredible.
we're hunting too. I'm about to come up there.
Like I picture you like in a tree, like wearing like animal pelts, diving down with a knife, and like that's how you hunt.
Yeah.
Like you're not with a gun, you're down there with or a spear. Like maybe you just spear them and then sleep on some rocks when you're done, and like
pretty much.
Like
you're
ram bat.
Wow, this is incredible. That's awesome. Jeffy, you got anything for Maddie and Kiki before we get them out of here?
Absolutely. First of all, really lovely to see you both. I had a great time meeting you when we met in Connecticut, and I also loved what you guys do. I had a great time watching you both. I think you just have an infectious charm, and your smiles are awesome, and you just always make me happy when I see you guys up there doing your thing.
And they're good fucking cooks.
All your food. All the food I watch that you make makes me hungry, and it's always awesome. And I wasn't bullshitting about the Food Ninja. I just saw it, and I was doing an event where I was away, and I was cooking in like an Airbnb, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, they use it. I bet it's cool. I should get it. And then I was like, but what am I going to do with it? You know, it's like a couple $100. I'm like, I don't know if I can pack it onto the plane. I'm like, I'm not going to leave it here. I was like going around in my head about it, but
it's a private plane.
But now I'm definitely going to get it. Private information that's privy to.
Sorry,
like some people. Anyway, so questions for both of you are: you guys are sisters, best friends, obviously, right? You hang out a lot.
Yep.
Do you butt heads on things ever? Like, do you guys like hell no, I don't want to do that. That's stupid. That sucks. I don't like that, or stuff like that. Like, and have there ever been any like epic fails between you two? Like things where it's like, I fucking told you that was gonna suck, and or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, did you guys ever have any one of those moments?
Mama G is here. Be careful.
First of all, Jeffy, phenomenal question.
Wow, how about Jeffy with a good question there, huh? Come on.
Thank you.
Back from the dead with a good question.
And to answer it, I will say this. We are women. We're Italian. So do you think there's going to be some heads butting a time or two?
Yeah, I'm married to that exact species.
See, so you know. You definitely know. So to answer your question, yes, we, especially when we first started, we were constantly butting heads because we were just trying to get our bearings, trying to see like what I was going to do, what Key was going to do. And over the years, basically, we've just kind of like molded to our own direction. So Key does a lot of our photography, which is like, she does a fantastic job on our photography. And I do a lot of our videos.
Just a side note, I know it's Jeffy's turn to ask questions, but what do you edit with? What program do you use? What software do you use? Because your edits are fantastic.
We are iPhone girls. So believe it or not, you can run like a very successful YouTube channel, Instagram, all of that just by using your phone.
Holy
and
shit.
I personally love doing it that way because then everything is you have it at the ready. All your videos, all your pictures, you can we pop reels out like it's like no tomorrow.
Amazing. What about an epic fail? What failed for you guys that didn't work? Key, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I'm trying to think of like something in particular that failed. Like I think at the beginning when we were more like unsure of what we were doing, we were more like Maddie said, we would butt heads a lot more. And in the beginning we were more likely to like blame each other if something didn't work out. But then now as we go on in our career, we make decisions more like we don't have to convince the other one to do something. We both know if it's our vibe or if it's not our vibe, if we want to do it, if we don't want to do it. And we fail and succeed together. Like, so if something doesn't go right, I would never think now to say like, oh, that didn't go right because you chose like for us to do that.
I love that. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. You guys are absolutely some of my favorite humans ever. I'm so lucky. I feel like we're so lucky that we got to meet you and hang out with you and become friends with you. And you guys are the best. Anytime anyone asks me about a festival, hey, who should we bring to this festival? Your names are coming up, hands down, no doubt about it. And also the best part is they won't even run your bar tab up. They go to bed at 7. So it's great.
Great.
It's great.
It's true. Yeah.
But we just appreciate the hell out of you. Dan, get those plugs out there for them one more time before we get them out of here because it's past their bedtime. And they're so sweet to stay up late with us here tonight.
Absolutely. If you ain't heard, it's Maddie and Kikki. MaddieandKikki.com. Maddie and Kikki on IG. Maddie and Kikki on YouTube. Like I said, you're going to find these girls, Maddie and Kikki. Look them up. Two dynamic duo hooking it up. Barbecue, grilling. Everywhere you want to see them, check them out.
You guys got to hook us up with the Ninja people. We want to talk to somebody from Ninja. Just I want to interview them. All the crap that they make. That's awesome.
We'd love to hook you guys up because that grill is like changing the game of outdoor cooking. Like it's literally bringing more people into barbecue and like because anyone can do it on that thing.
Amazing. Last one from me, then we're getting you guys out of here. I know that the absolutely electric factory himself, Mike Stein from Ergo Chef Knives, sent you guys some knives to check out. But that's all sarcasm, by the way. He is the most boring individual you ever meet in your life. But
that's why it's amazing.
But we did. So listen, Mohegan Sun Food and Wine, which you guys are going to be at next year. We've already talked about it. We do this podcast live, and it's like a whole table of people, and we're all on mic. It's so fucking fun. And Mike is there with us, and I just kept calling him. I was like, all right, let's get a word from the Electric Factory. That is Mike Stein. He's incredible. Mike, what do you think? And he'd be like, yeah.
Yeah,
I like it. I was like, Mike Stein, everybody.
Yeah, let's go, Mike.
But they make, in my brain, they make some of the best knives on the planet for me. I love them very much. You guys have had them. Great company.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Like when we first used them, when we were on the stage at Barbecue Fest with you, you like passed it over to us, and I used it. I was like, this thing's actually so awesome.
Well, you were trying to cut some shit with basically a coat hanger. You were like, let me get this cut for you. It wasn't working.
And then 2 seconds later, you're like, walk over to that guy. And then Mike was like, yeah, we'll send you guys some knives. I was like, what the heck? Chef Plumbing with the hookups.
That's what we do. And then he texted me. He's like, fuck, they're in Canada? Do you know what shipping is to Canada? And I was like, shut your mouth, Electric. Shut your mouth, jabroni. Send us some knives. That's what we got to do.
Factory.
That's it. Maddie, Kikki, you guys are absolute legends. We are so lucky to be able to call you friends. You're intoxicating to watch. Make sure you check them out, not this week, but next week, Friday at noon. They throw down on every social media platform you can find. Get on there, watch what they're doing, check out their Instagram. There's so many great tips on there. I'm telling you, this weekend, I'm going to send you guys a text. I'm going to smoke cherries in my wood oven at my client's house. I'm going to do it.
But Chef Plummy, what cocktail are you going to be making with that cherry simple syrup?
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure something out. I don't know. I might make a dessert with it.
Did you see what I made with it?
I did. You used
was
that.
that not insane?
Did you use Frangelico in that, right?
Okay, that Frangelico, I'm new to the Frangelico game. I could not handle how incredible it was.
It's a hazelnut liqueur.
Sounds delicious.
It's delicious
Yeah.
with smoked cherries. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, Maddie, this is the alcohol problem I'm talking about that you won't admit.
She does.
I'll own it.
I'm going to send you a picture of it. I can't wait. I'll do it on social. I'll tag you on it. Inspired by you guys, and we'll call it even for the Calgary beef that you did with with Alabama White.
Okay,
I'll be wearing white shorts too. Make
By
sure
the
you
way,
wear white shorts.
by the way, we're going to bottle that Alabama White sauce. We'll send you some when it's done.
Let's go.
You guys are the absolute best. We appreciate you so much. I'm sorry to keep you up so late. We can talk to you for another hour, just so you know that. Like, we so appreciate you. We appreciate all your tips. We appreciate all your help. And we appreciate, most importantly, your DIY attitude and the way that you have made things happen for yourself, because that's what you've done, and you deserve that. You'll never say it, but you deserve that. And we appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you again very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining us, friends.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much. You guys have made staying up way past our bedtime thoroughly worth it. I don't know, Key, I don't know about you, but this went by in 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe this has taught me maybe we can stay up past 8 p.m. next time.
Are you kidding me? We can get you guys back on here again. I mean, this took 7.5 months of planning to make for you guys. I understand that. You had to sleep 4 days straight in order to stay up late to do this. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. By the way, please tell your mother that she's the best. We love her very much. Thanks for joining us.
I'm sorry
Maddie,
about my mouth.
Jeffy it's okay, Jeffy. I dropped F-bombs too. It's fine. Neither one of you guys did, though. Would you mind doing it before you leave, just to make us feel better about it?
I'm out.
No, I can't either.
Could you say damn? Would you say damn for us? Is that a bad one?
I'd say damn.
Hey, there we go. Key, would you do it?
Damn's not bad.
Okay. How far can we go? Will you say shit?
No,
absolutely not.
I don't know. I don't know what the line is. There's a line. I'm trying to figure it out. Wow. Maddie, Kiki, you guys are legends. We appreciate you. Make sure you check them out on all social media platforms. I'm telling you, it's intoxicating to watch. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you so much. We'll see you guys on down the road.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody.
Yeah. Woo! They're the best. Thank you, friends.
Bye, guys.
Love you, ladies.
Oh my God. I love them. They are my favorite. They are so fun to watch. I can't get enough. It's so fun to watch someone like that, Dan, who what they have done on their own with no help. You heard Canada Food Network told them, hey, get on YouTube. And what do? They get on YouTube and have more views than fucking Canadian Food Network.
That's wild. Yeah, they're hooking it up. They're doing it big out there in Canada. It's cool. Doing their own thing, DIY, great content.
They're doing great.
The absolute best.
I wanted to talk about how they're doing it with their whole family, though. Like Mama G and her dad and Papa. I don't know his name, but Papa.
They never told us his name, which is probably smart.
Yeah, but they said that they produce on the show and do a bunch of stuff to help, and I think that's awesome. That it's like a total family affair. And they're making such awesome content, and they actually. The other thing that I wanted to ask them, and I wish I got a chance to, is that they said that once they quit their jobs and they had no safety net, that's when things started to pick up and they started having more opportunity and all that kind of stuff. And
because you have to.
I think there's something. That's what I was just going to say. I think there's something really great about putting yourself in a position where you have to grind and you have to make that thing happen. Because if you're not in that position and you're kind of comfortable, sometimes it's harder to have the discipline to do what you need to do to make it happen. I was just wondering if they had if they felt they became more disciplined in that time when they were, without the net, or did it with the
I mean, that's a great question for the next time we talk to him, for sure, no doubt about it. And one of the things that we talked to him about, wasn't sure if you got the chance to hear it or not. We were talking about how one of the things that they absolutely innately have that people don't have is the ability, because they work together, to know when to let someone else talk. That is something. I realize that sounds like a shot at you, Jeffy. I'm not saying it like that. But when you're doing a TV segment, when you're working on stage, to let somebody else talk, understand it's a thing that you have to do. And they're really innately good at it, which is incredible. And because of that, it makes them easy to work with, which will take them a very long way.
Totally. I think wanting to hear what the other person has to say is helpful in that situation. I feel like that's one of the reasons that like the three of us have a good rapport when we are always talking to each other, because when the one other person's going to say something, we genuinely want to hear what that person has to say. So it's like I think that's an important part, and like they're probably so close that they're each other's biggest fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
no doubt about it.
I think it's awesome.
Jeffy, you weren't
I love
here.
Kiki's answer to me was like she shut me down by like trying to see if there was any like sibling rivalry or anything like that. She wasn't having it. I thought that was amazing. I was like,
what would you say if somebody asked you about the same thing about me and Dan with you? You'd do the same thing. Nope. Some things you keep in house, you know. Oh my God, he's not saying yeah.
He's like, yeah, those motherfuckers.
Jeffy,
he's like, every day I'd be like, those motherfuckers.
We did announce your demise. I'm not sure if you heard that. We announced how
you do it every time I'm not here, you assholes, while I'm working and rushing around and trying to get home, mopping floors, doing all this
maybe you should rush a little faster. That's all I'm saying. Like we said that you did. We did say Dan and I both said
I'm not ready for dinner.
Look, Dan and I both said like you did die saving children. We said there were 5 in a burning building. You saved 4 of them, so we call you B plus Jeffy. But
me and the 5th one are in heaven.
That's right. I don't know if you missed such Jesus. I want to sing too, but it's gonna be loud. If I saw you in heaven. Dan's like, what is that song? What are you doing? Is it a poem?
What is that song?
What is that? That's not Jodeci. What are you talking about?
Shit, don't clown Jodeci.
Jeffy, we had quite the international show tonight, Jeffy. I'm not sure if you're aware if you saw this, but this came out today. This is the Apple Podcast ratings for Ireland. We are number 67. This program, and
the morning to you
makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It sure does make a lot of sense, doesn't it, lad?
Not only did we have that, we had a Canadian guest on tonight. We're big in Ireland. Listen, things are blowing up for the boys over here.
We're going on a European tour.
That's right.
Live European Demo Kings coming at you.
I just have such respect for those two women. Like I said, the DIY, doing it on their own, going against the grain. Food Network told them to go to YouTube. They did, and now they would tell Food Network to go fuck themselves.
They got out of Canada, and that's not easy. You know, like they were in America doing stuff. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. 2 countries. It's almost as big as Plumluvfoods Live.
That's what I'm saying. And now they're going to be so much bigger that they're on our show, getting that Plumluvfoods bump. Oof.
That bump.
That's right. In Ireland, in Spain, Australia.
In Spain, all the people, the global people around the world who've now heard about Maddie and Kikki on the Plumluvfoods podcast.
Dan, what are your thoughts on that when you hear their story?
I think it's great. They have a great story. I love everything I hear from them. Like even the family dynamic that's obvious on many levels. Like the 2 of them kind of link up, and it's fun to see people. I think there's not enough. I think you said at the beginning of that team effort. It's always one person, and a lot of times there's a lot to be said when there's 2 people that can meld, and both of them add 2 completely different aspects of barbecue that can come together well. And it's always a beautiful thing when you can put everything else aside for the love of food, stand up there and just like put it down and keep people loving it. And I love that first and foremost with food, because it's such a deep rooted thing in family. And so when you see that, you know it's coming from a genuine place.
100%, which I think was great about it. I mean, I love the DIY mentality, and you know, this is the thing. Like, don't sleep on them. Don't get it twisted. They can fucking cook, dude.
Word up. Yeah, they can. They was throwing down. They was throwing them hot browns, them fucking Kentucky hot browns down. When I saw them doing the demo, changing it up with the tri-tip, I thought it was cool. So they doing fun new things. I like what they do. It's awesome.
Jeffy, you missed it. You missed it when I called them out on the dish they made at the Calgary Stampede. It was hysterical.
No, I saw it. I was in the green room. I just got there when how that whole thing had started. I saw the whole thing. That was great.
I had to do it.
It was hilarious. Yeah, sure.
I told them
it was different than ours.
I told them it's all in love, and you know, I think it's great. And they were like, maybe like you Did we lose Dan? What happened? I got spiral wheeled him. Do you see Dan or no?
Yeah, no, I don't see Dan. I think Dan, maybe his internet's out or something. I'm not sure.
I thought it was great just to be able to bust balls like that with them, and I think it's fun to be able to talk to them, and it was one of those things where it was when we first met them, I just knew that there was a connection. I was like, these guys are gonna be friends. They're fantastic, and very excited to have them on there.
Absolutely. They're like-minded people. They're like good people, and that's one thing that I got from them right away. That they were just like genuinely good people, and they just wanted to make great food and show people how to make great food, and they really like connecting with their audience. And I just I was watching them interact. I was just watching them just do their thing, and I was super thoroughly impressed by them just as people. I was like, oh, I would totally want to we should all hang out. These guys are fun.
I said that at the beginning of the show tonight. I said to him, we tried to hang out with you guys, but you didn't want to. But then the second day, you wanted to hang out with us, and guess what? You get one chance to hang out with all this. If you miss the chance, it's not getting it back. Sorry, that's how it goes. Because remember, they said, "Hey, do you guys want to go to dinner?" We were like, "No, we can't. We're leaving."
Sorry,
Jeffy Freedom.
You missed your chance.
Jeffy Freedom.
That's me.
I cannot believe that you showed up to this show wearing an American flag on your head.
Why not?
Because our poor Canadian friends, Jeffy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you fucking not American all of a sudden?
I'm not saying that. I just felt like it was aggressive.
West Virginia.
I appreciate it.
I'm not from West Virginia.
That's not what I heard. That's not what your birth certificate says.
You guys can go fuck yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chef Plum. We appreciate you guys checking out Plumluvfoods tonight.
Damn, just like that.
It hurts. I can't laugh that hard.
I can't wait to hang out with Maddie and Kikki again. Check them out. They are fantastic.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Also, if you haven't done so yet, if you like barbecue, you can get a double dose of it from Maddie and Kikki tonight. Plus, check out Seasoned anywhere you get your podcast. We broadcasted live today on WNPR. It's a great show. We hung out with Jeff Schmidt from
love that guy.
Yeah, he was awesome, from Hindsight Barbecue. And then we had Daryl, I don't remember his last name, and I'll get yelled at for saying that online, from a place called Smokey's Pit Stop, which is a great spot in Manchester, Connecticut. Had a great conversation. He's like a mix of barbecue and soul food. It was just how could that be bad?
How could that be bad? Yeah, I was just going to say, that sounds so good.
How could that be bad?
So good. Manchester.
Up by Hartford.
Manchester.
Oh, up middle north of the state, right?
But yeah. Great conversations. If you're looking for barbecue talk, that's another one you can check out too. It's a really good one. A lot of great tips in there for the home barbecuer there. And I actually give the recipe for the Alabama white sauce on that show. So make sure you check that out as well. Listen, guys, any final?
The gold?
I didn't give measurements. I just told what was in it.
Leave out a secret ingredient.
Yeah, I might have something out here or there. Dan, final thoughts from you, Dan.
Great conversation, great time. Barbecue. It really got me wanting to do some barbecue. I've been wanting to set up a pit. We was talking about a chicken last time we was talking with Jeff. I saw a couple things. This just got me fired up to want to slow smoke some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I haven't really got into the pit in a while. I've been too busy this summer to really fuck around with something. So it's actually got me fired up. I want to do some vegetables. I want to get into. I love doing some smoked vegetables. I'm a big fan of it.
Sounds good. By the way, we're dropping the ball a little bit with Chef Dan in the streets. What's happening?
I have one, but I gotta load it, and then we're doing this.
So you're dropping the ball.
Yeah. It's just the ball on the ground. You're fumbling.
I have one for next week. I mean, I can put one on right now. Technically, you want one?
I mean, it's 11:26. I don't know if we should do it.
I'm just saying, if you want one, I can give you one right now. You asked.
No, if right now. It was here. It was uploaded. I knew it was here. I would have ended a little bit earlier.
Dan's gonna give it to you. Well, no, go on, give it to him, Dan.
All right, next week. We'll bring it back next week. We'll bring it back next week.
Chef on the streets. Here, my boy.
Or not. Let's just
go for it. Kelvon, aka Kel.
You wanted one. I didn't turn the streets out.
One of the best delivery guys.
Hold on. You can't just do that.
We got a preview.
I want to see it. But we gotta have stingers and stuff. Don't we have a stinger for that or no?
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do have a stinger. It's a fantastic stinger. I don't know who made it, but he's probably a genius.
That's good. Let's do it then.
finding the voice of the common man in these streets with Dan the Spice Man.
What up, Chef Dan? Chef on the streets. Here, my boy Kelvon, aka Kel.
What's up?
Yo, one of the best delivery guys I know from one of the biggest conveyors on the planet, doing it big on the East Coast.
Yeah.
We were talking a few horror stories, some things you might have seen in some restaurants, some stuff that might not be, some people might not be privy to. You want to hit me with a little bit of inside information on that?
Yeah.
He threw the mics on him. I give him
about the bad, good, bad.
Let's talk. What was a scary situation you were like, oh man, I am never eating at this place?
Never eating at this place? A bunch of caterers in New Jersey.
Oh shit! All right, New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Caterers that cater to places that people eat from or for weddings.
Is that what they
disgusting.
do?
Roaches, oil everywhere, food left out, bags, garbage, the whole nine. Like you wouldn't want to eat from there if you seen it.
So as you as a person coming from the outside walking into these places, is it shocking to you? Are you like surprised?
Yeah,
or?
shocking.
Yeah.
Because they cater to weddings. They cater to big events. You wouldn't think that the food would look like that or the place would look like that.
The place would look like that. The background would look like that. All right, so let's go to a bright side. So now you go into a place, you see it looks a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But you walk on the inside
and it's beautiful.
And it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. New restaurants that open up like that.
Yeah.
Sketchy as hell on the outside, but you go inside beautiful. Like the whole nine, the toilets to clean your butt, balls, whatever.
Everything sparkling.
Yup, everything's sparkling, brand new, clean, and everything just kept clean in the kitchen. You don't see no grease, no dust at all.
New Jersey.
You got some old restaurants that look the same as well.
How about let's talk about chefs. All right, you go into a kitchen. You got to find somebody. You trying to look for the person that got to sign the paperwork. Make sure you got everything you need.
Yeah.
What is your overall consensus on the people you deal with on a daily basis? Is it like good, bad, or like people treat you like shit? They treat you with respect?
Well, they treat me with respect. I come in, I do my job. I drop it off wherever you want it to. But you still got guys that's rude because you come in late. But we don't control the traffic.
About
you
nothing.
just drive and deliver. And sometimes you gotta keep your composure. Sometimes I couldn't, but. Dealt with it.
Uh-oh. Is there a story there?
Yeah.
You want to tell that story?
Yeah, I had a guy disrespect me as I'm bringing in stuff.
Yeah.
Told me that when I come inside and I see him, I get out his way because he write my paychecks.
Oh, that one of them guys.
Yeah.
One of them guys.
Yeah.
No.
And how'd you handle that?
I gave him my name, company. I told him I'll step outside, and he don't write my checks.
Let him know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, some people can come in with that audacity.
Yeah. I had people call me, the N-word or give me bad looks. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Oh no.
But you just gotta walk away.
Yeah.
Your job's way better than some words. So,
for real.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's been good.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Only you're gonna get most of it way out of town or way down in the city.
Yeah.
By Wall Street and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But out of town, you get some areas that's racist, but just go through it. You ain't got to say nothing to nobody. Just get the paperwork signed and deliver. That's all you got to do.
Well, you the man. You've always been good with me. You do things you got to do. You come through.
Yeah,
you handle business, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yo,
thank you.
Anytime, bro.
Chef Dan the Spice Man signing off, my man Kel. Take it easy.
Later.
Hey.
It's so hard now to make a joke. I don't want to make a joke. That poor guy gets fucking racist shit. Come on, man. That's not.
He's a good dude, man.
Listen,
seems like a good dude. And anybody who's still acting like that towards someone like him, go fuck yourself. It's 2023.
That's Calvin.
Really?
Calvin don't give a fuck anyway, man. What's the matter?
Shout out to him. That was awesome, Dan. That got real pretty quick on that.
Hey, yo, I was trying to get somewhere with him, and then he kind of took it somewhere else. But it's cool. That was a good conversation. That's a good dude. I talk to him all the time. He's really good people. So I like my delivery guys. I think I was trying to get there's a lot of aspects to the food world, and the delivery people are very crucial to what we do. I treat all my delivery people with respect. I give them food. They want coffee. I hook them up. I make sure to take care of, because when it comes down to it, I want my shit coming in right. I don't want anything thrown on the floor. I don't need bags being broken. I don't need containers being ripped. I want my cases full. I want to make sure I have everything. And if I don't have it, they'll either make sure I get it or they'll fucking, I get taken care of. So it's always something. So I'm always taking care of them people. So it was important for me to try to get the aspect of who they are and what they do,
That's good advice, brother. That's really, really good advice for people to listen to. Take care of your delivery guy, something you probably don't think about all the time. And listen, I hate the fact that dude still catches shit from people. That's bullshit. And these guys work their ass off. And like, let's just stop that shit, man. It's just stop. Like we can joke and be funny, and that's fine. I never ever want to say not do that. But like, don't hurt somebody. Like that's not cool.
He's doing their job.
Yeah, I feel bad for that dude.
Piece of shit.
I feel bad for that dude, man. I hope that doesn't happen too much to him. And I shot to him.
I don't think Calvin gives a fuck, man. You heard him. He's like, as long as he gets paid. He told that one dude, listen, I work for this company. This is my name. You like to step outside? You don't sign shit on for me. He handles his business.
Yeah.
It's like, unfortunately, he's a black man in America, and I'm sure like a lot of our black friends could share many stories of like traveling around and dealing with bullshit because it's just how it goes, man. Fucking bullshit. There's a lot of racist pieces of shit out there. It's like it's fucked up. And some of them are in positions of power.
I just hate that that's still part of our life in 2023, like that, and the fact that we'll say things like that about black people, or we'll say things about that about we'll give shit to people who are gay. Like, what are we doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, is it? I don't know. Don't you want as many people to love you as possible? Like, I want people who are, oh, that guy's awesome, or people, I just don't understand. Like, why? I honestly just don't get it, and I hate it, and I hate that people, and I get really defensive about that shit, man. You guys know that. I get really fired up about that.
Yeah, that's why I was torn between bringing that on, because I know it's a tight subject, because we're having a conversation, and it's something that's like real. It happens out there, and unfortunately, like it doesn't make sense, like to even be upset with somebody you don't know for any other reason than some physical characteristic is just fucking ludicrous.
Right.
I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. We should all be like dogs. That's what I say. Puppies don't care whether you black, white, red, purple, green, brown. They don't care. You give them food, you're nice to them. No, they don't hate it. They love everybody.
My dog does. My little motherfucking dog hates everybody.
He loves
Anubis.
me.
Anubis hates you.
Me.
No, he hates you.
He likes me.
He hates both of y'all.
He lets me pet him.
Anubis hates everybody. He's like, fuck y'all.
It's not true.
Both your dogs have laid on me.
I don't
mean they like you. You're just comfy.
You're just
they just used you. They just used you for your comfort.
Well, Dan, another mind-boggling piece there from you. We appreciate that, and like you were trying to make a fun piece, and I give you a lot of credit for getting it out there and making a nice social statement. You got the mics on, which was great, but I just don't, for the life of me, understand how you do so many things.
Turn that motherfucking
camera. Fucking camera is still like this.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Grandma? Turn it.
Got you. Next time it'll be turned. I saw it too. I was like, makes sense. I was doing it for IG. Oh, don't make that face.
What is that face he's making?
I don't know. It's making me upset though. It's making me real uncomfortable right now.
It's making me upset.
Stop it, Jeff.
Listen, shout out to Maddie and Kikki for joining us here on the program. Make sure you check them out. Dan, where can we find Maddie and Kikki? Let's end this thing before
let's guess this. Maddie and Kikki. Just look up Maddie and Kikki. Go to IG. Look up Maddie and Kikki. Everywhere you want to go. YouTube. Their YouTube shit is popping. They ain't gonna be live this Friday, unfortunately, because Maddie ain't feeling too well. But next Friday, you're gonna be able to check them out. Maddie and Kikki. Yeah, they doing big things. They're awesome. They're cool, great people. They're from Canada, for whatever that's worth. I'm pro America.
I want to take some promo pictures of me on your back, Jeffy. Can we do that? Or me on your back, Dan? Can we do that?
Yeah. I could get both of y'all on my back. I can squat both of y'all.
Oh, here we go.
Time out. I say me and you hug like this, Plum, and then we hop on Dan's back and we get the photo, arms up, like, yeah, and Dan's holding us up.
Last time you and I hugged, it was Pride Week.
Yeah, it was. I have that photo. My sister used it in their promotions for their for their Pride Day parade or something.
I didn't okay any of that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Hey, man.
Oh Jesus, Jeffy! Final thoughts.
Just two bears loving each other in public.
I don't know if I'm a bear anymore.
Dude, Dude, you're definitely still a bear. What are you talking about?
I'm losing weight.
He's not a bear anymore.
Yeah, you're not dying. What do you mean?
What does that mean?
You're giant. What are you? You're a fucking monster of a human being. I'm not saying fat. You're fucking 6'4", fucking giant man. I'm just, there's no.
7'4", 560 pounds.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like if you had AIDS and you got really skinny, or something like that. Then maybe we could call you like an otter.
You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. You have connections to that world, so I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't know what any of that means. But we'll let it stand right there. Final thoughts, Jeff, before we get you out of here. It's good.
Yeah, I mean,
shout out to Yair.
Shout out to Yair. Shout out to all our friends on Pride Week. Shout out to Freedom.
Oh my God!
Honestly, the end of this, I thought it was a great show. I'm sorry I came late. Maddie and Kikki were amazing, and I wish that I had just a little more time to talk with them because they were awesome. I wanted to just engage so bad.
If you got here on time, you'd have more time.
Well, I steamrolled immediately because I was so excited to talk, and then I felt really bad, and then I tried really hard not to talk over anyone.
Jeffy shows up. Hey, I'm Jeffy. Guys, Jeffy's here. Jeffy. Hey, I'm Jeffy. I'm Jeffy.
I was excited. You asked me.
America. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. And then, so you set me up for stuff like that. And then I say the F word. And then all of a sudden you're like, Mama G's mad. And then she's saying the F word. So I'm like, is it okay? And then I say it again. You're like, Jeff, mom.
No, of course I did. Of course, it's a gimmick. It's just a gimmick.
And then I was really like I got to be careful because
what's the gimmick?
Maddie and Kikki don't look like they've ever sworn. They look like to me, they're as wholesome as Laura Ingalls.
They said, damn. By the way, Laura Ingalls, how old are you? Jesus, what a reference that is. Watch this. Dan, do you know who Laura Ingalls is?
No idea.
There you go.
I'm assuming she's like an angel or something. Does she hang out with Jesus?
Character on a show from the 1960s called Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you don't remember Little House on the Prairie?
For that one.
I remember Little House on the Prairie, but I didn't watch that shit. I never watched that bullshit. Why don't I watch a bunch of people running through some fucking prairie? Like, this weird family thing? I didn't watch that shit. I was watching cartoons, motherfucker. I was watching Saturday morning cartoons.
Dan was watching Captain Caveman, not Laura Ingalls.
Hell yeah. Fucking Captain Caveman. Hell yeah.
What's wrong with you? This is what's wrong
Hanna-Barbera. Shit.
This is what's wrong with you.
Stage
you
left.
Didn't see Michael Landon. You didn't see Michael Landon teach messages. What is that?
Oh, Highway to Heaven. I saw Highway to Heaven.
Okay, there you go. Highway to Heaven. That was the
So you should have said Michael Landon. That would have made more sense. People know who that is.
That was the sequel. Well, Laura Ingalls was Michael Landon's daughter in his first film.
Oh my God.
Serious.
What is happening right now?
We're going back.
What is happening?
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
Can we
All right, so I guess the dumpster's officially on fire. Yeah.
I'm trying to end the show, but Jeffy's talking about Laura Ingalls.
You're doing
Michael
for
Landon.
my final thoughts like they were going to be important. Keep it going.
He's right. He's not wrong. You don't even know you asked him. Jeff's like, I'm just gonna start saying shit.
Don't let me talk the whole goddamn show, then tell me to talk, and then tell me it's my fault that I'm talking. All right, cool. I get it.
Don't swear, Jeff. Don't swear.
It's my fault that I'm talking. Jeffy, do you have any actual final thoughts that would be nice for the show?
My last thought of the show is we should just end it. Let's pull the plug. Food is the most important thing people have in their life. Everything in life revolves around food. So let's keep it greasy and sleazy and move forward.
From the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
Thank you for listening to Plum Love Foods Live. See you next week, good brothers and sisters.